Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to do another vintage project. Now, I recently did a video where I showed you, so this was my prototype, and then I showed you how I made it by taking some 6x6 DSP, little bit of a craft lunch there, and stamped on it with different stamps to create a sort of a vintage bit of paper. So I'll link down below to that video because I've already done it for this one. You didn't need to see me do it again. I did it in exactly the same way. This is Blushing Bride that I've used here. Let's put that paper away now. And I showed you in this video that I had made some envelopes as well. So that's what we're going to do in this video. From this 6x6 sheet that I have vintaged, I'm going to create these two envelopes. So each envelope is made from 3x6 and they're quite simple to do, and then they just hold a little bit of paper for journaling. You can put other things in, and my idea was that this was going to glue on 3 sides and it would be a pocket on a page as well. So put a tag there, simple closure on there, and just a few little bits of decoration. And the other one is closed with like a policy style closure there, little circle, and again this time it's a strip of tea dyed paper in there. So little elements to decorate. So I'm going to show you how I made each of them. And again, this, my idea for this was again that I might so I might stick it down like that so that this comes up like that. So that is all stuck down the back, that is stuck down there, and then it just comes up to close the envelope. That was my idea. That was my idea. So let me just do a quick run through of the stamp sets that I've used, so you know. So my favourite script there from Very Versailles, bit of glare on there. My new favourite, Ranunculus Romance there. Romance, I nearly said. So these, I haven't used that one actually. It's that one, that one, that one, and that one. And what else have I used? Oh, this stamp there from Nature's Harvest, go around the edge, and the dottage there from Quiet Meadow. So those are what I used, and I used the neutral browns, so Crumb Cake and Soft Suede and a little bit of Early Espresso. And I'm going to put the flower on after I've folded the envelope up, so I know that it's going to go in the right direction, because I kind of done this non-directional. So we're just gonna cut this in half, so it is 6x3. So we've got 2 bits like so, and then we're going to do some scoring, and I'm just gonna, well, how did I score this? 1 1/4. So I scored, I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't know where. Well, I do in my little book where I write things down, but it's downstairs. So score at 1 1/4, so that is a fold down for the flap. And then what do I do? 2 1/2. So then fold that down, 2 1/2. And then that folds up with a bit of a gap. So that is how we did that. You don't have to measure, you could just do it by eye. I know lots of people can't be, just want to do the folding, but so we had 1 1/4. Gonna fold that. I might fold it the other way so they're both slightly different, and 2 1/2 there once that fold is, which if you want precise, it's 3 3/4. So 1 1/2, 1 1/4 and 3 3/4 is where those fold marks are to form our envelope. So let's just have that there straight. So that's that simply done. And then I did a little, let's do this one, easier to undo than the other. So I did a little thumb thing there. So circular punch, worked nicely. Got a 1 1/2 inch one here. So I'm just eyeballing it so it's in the center, and punch. There we go. So the pattern's slightly different on each side, so I'm doing this one with one pattern and one with the other because I can. So that's that, and then we want to just round the corners. So let's get my corner rounder, give myself nice rounded corners there. I think that finishes them off nicely on the envelope. There we go. And then we're gonna want to just go round those edges, ink those edges. So get a bit of soft suede and ink round all these edges, particularly these edges, so that they show against that background. But we're going to go around them all because I like to ink, so I might just speed this bit up. So that's those bits all inked up. So now I'm going to stamp the lovely ranunculus, there it is, on it, now that I can sort of see where I want it to be. So I'm going to bring in my ink sheet here, sharing a block here, but that's okay. I might just take that off a moment so I can actually see it. So I think I'm going to put one over there, liking that, and I might put on the inside there, so when you open up you can see it. It might be nice to have a little bit on the flap, and I'm going to do the back up the right way. I might, as is my intention for these to be glued, I could have these as floating pockets, so I'm doing it this way so that I've got the option for it not to be like that. And I'm going to take my border as well. I think it'd be quite nice to have this border. Let's have it coming on there. That's nice. Might have a bit on the bottom. I'm going to stick some elements on this as well. Quite like it coming over there. I might stick the postmark on it as well, which I haven't got out. The Ranunculus Romance has a nice postage stamp, which I'm thinking I want. Don't know why I didn't put it on the other envelopes, but there we go. So let's have that stuck up in the corner. Put that on there. Might put it on the front as well. There we go. I think that was worth doing. So we want this on here. There we go. So that is that bit of stamping done that I want to do. So now we've got the closures to sort out. Let's get myself a nice clean background now so you can see what I'm doing. So we are simply going to run a bead down here to close the envelope. I think this might need my pin going down it. Stick it in here. So there we go. There we have our two envelopes. So let me show you how I did this one. So just a little fancy little shape there, holding that in place. And I got that from using this elegant tag punch, and as you can see it's quite a bit smaller. So I did this with some of this, a darker colour of this DSP. I'm going to do this one in some card. So this is Blushing Bride. So I've got a piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. I've obviously used some pink snowflakes at some point. And I've done the same sort of way of bits of inking and stamping on there. So we are going to just stamp a punch a bit. I'm going over a bit because I want to do a circle as well. So just eyeballing it to be about half. That's what we're going to have. And then we're going to feed it back up into the punch so that we get the top rounded. So I'm just eyeballing that to be straight. And we get our little shape. Somebody once says a little bit like an elephant. And so that can just go on there and hold it down. Going to do a little bit of extra inking around the edge. And I think we're going to come in with our brush a bit more. And get these edges inked. There we go. And I might stick a bit more of that on. Yeah, liking that. That'll be nice. So that can get stuck down there. So I'm doing it so that it's only the curved edge that's at the top. So you've got these edge bits and I'm going to stick those edge bits to the bottom bit of the envelope, so your top's just in the top bit, like so. So I'm going to put glue along those bits. And I just thought, a nice quick, you can use any punches you want, or just die cuts, or hand cut, whatever you want. I recently did a challenge which was use your punches, and I don't really have to be challenged to use my punches because they are some of my favourite tools, because punches are quick and handy. So there we go, that's that bit done. So that's that closure, quite liking that. And then I just stamped the label, which you can just cut out. There is a die to cut this out, but I don't really feel that it's necessary to have a die to do this. Probably necessary to wear glasses, Jez, because I can't see. That's better. So I'm just going to snip that up there, up there, along there, down there. So we've got a nice little label. We can use any sorts of labels that you want, and quite like the idea of having that to decorate. And I like little doilies to finish things off. But what I did on this one, that was a so I've got these frames, so I took this frame here and die cut a strip, so I can just die cut a strip there and use that, and that'll be enough to do the one on each of the envelopes. But before I do that, I need the circle for the other envelope, and I used a 3/4 of an inch circle for this. This is no longer sold by Stampin' Up, so I won't be linking to this down. I linked to everything that I used down below, but this is no longer in the catalogue, so I can't link to that. So that is that one, and I need a little half circle, which again we don't sell anymore, and it doesn't actually have to be the one that's dyed. So that is just to go on the back, so it's got a little bit of a lift. I've got a feeling I might have done 2 of these, might have done 2, gonna do 2, so that the string gets in the back to wind round. So that's that done. So I am gonna die cut this little strip here. So that's that done. Let's move my scissors out of the way. So there we have it. Let's just poke those bits out that didn't poke out that well. And I just think that'll give it a nice little decorative edge. You might have a punch. Stampin' Up used to do a punch very similar to this, which I could have used. But I love that frame set. There. There we go. So this video is going to come out after I've seen the new catalogue and after the last chance sale. So it might be that some of the things that I'm using today is in the last chance sale. I just don't know at the moment of filming this because it's too early to see the products. So we see them at 8 o'clock tonight and it's about 5:30. So doing this to pass the time because I'm quite excited. Quite excited to see. We'll have the new in colours, although we've had a little bit of a sneak peek of those. So that's that. To go up there. I'm actually thinking that that label would probably look better if it was darker. Might do that. Might do that. Get me early espresso and make it darker because it's not really showing up. I'm gonna see if I could be clever and go over that one. Wasn't that clever there? Have I managed it? It's not bad. Do one here. I want to, yeah, might ditch that. Yeah, I think that's going to show up a little bit better. It's getting lost, I think. Put a bit of glue along the edge there. So that will stick to there. And then we can glue on the back. Stick that there. So that's that one done. And I'll get the paper for going in the centre. So there we go. And that will just tuck down. Nicely. So now we need to do this circle. So we're going to stick it together. I'm going to use my eyelet setter. If you haven't got an eyelet setter, you could use like a split pin, like a brad. That would work. So the we're gonna wind some thread round. So by having these two bits of cardstock gives you the height for the thread. Going in here. So I'm gonna just putting glue on the 1/2 inch circle bit and then just eyeballing it for the centre. And then I'm going to get my crocodile. I'll say this bit is not necessary. You could use a brad So let's undo that. I had that set for something. Let's let it drop. So go to the center there. There we go. That's not bad. Jez did quite well there. And then I'm going to get out my eyelet. And then just squeeze it in place. There we go. So that's set there nicely. And then I use linen thread on this. I got some pinky thread that's similar sort of colour. I've also got some pink and white baker's twine. I think I'm going to go for that one, but I'm going to make it a bit dirty by just rubbing it along this so it's not nice and clean. Don't really know how much of this I need, so I'm going to put that round. It is the same colour, so that's Stampin' Up's colour coordination. It's also Blushing Bride. This was in a catalogue couple of catalogues ago. Spring Summer, not the one we've got now, last year's. So I've tied it once. I'll tie it a second time. There we go, so that's nice. I'm going to snip that end off. There we go, so we wind this round a couple of times. And then go around there. Yeah, I seem to have dirtied just about enough. There we go, so that's that. So then I'm just going to add that bit of decoration. Don't know if I went round the end of this. So that is those two types of envelopes, and then I'm going to put some paper in for journaling. And I thought what would go nice with this pinky paper would be some avocado dyed paper. I think that one went in the oven and that one air dried. Does give a different effect. Now obviously was going to use this on a journal of some description, so let's just cut that end off. So I'll get rid of that strip. So we are 2.5, so if we go 2 1/4, that way. So then let's fold it up, allow for the glue, you can, there's my little small corner punch. I could corner around these bits, and you can, if you want to, go around the edges. So just to give it a little bit of something, and then not that one. And then you can just open it up. And then that will go down there, except it needs to be a bit thinner. Didn't leave enough. This one go in that one. There, that one will go in that one. Just. We'll do the other one. Going to go to there. So that could be clipped in, it could go in a pocket, it's the right way up on both sides, or like these, it could be glued on 3 points, and you have yourself a little bit of a tag going on there. So that is how I made my my little envelopes. 3x6 paper, cute little envelopes that were not made out of vintage paper. I created it myself. So check out the video where I did these, and then coming up in the series is making a specimen card that is also out of 3x6. Okay, so I'll link down below to everything I've used, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll bring you another I'll bring you this video very shortly. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.